Mr. President, I think it could boom, but I don't want to bust in between.
Right. That's a good way to put it. We'll see if this bust develops. There's the opening bell and the CNBC real-time exchange with the big board. It's the Ronald McDonald House, New York, and partners RBC Capital Markets and the New York Rangers. They do such amazing work at the NASDAQ.
The opening bell has rung, and the market is almost open. Yeah, it's open. Away we go. Right from the top, we've got the initial read. The Dow is down 950 points. That is 2.3%. That's in the first few seconds of business. At the Dow 30, I see two winners, one unchanged, although maybe it's not open yet, and the rest are down. They're losers. The S&P 500 down 2.4%, a similar loss to the Dow. And the Nasdaq, though, again, a bigger loss than the other indicators. You're down 3% there, 500 points. Big tech down across the board. Google's down 1.4%. Microsoft down almost 2%. Apple, look at that, back to 195. Meta is down 5%, and Amazon is down 6.3%.
We're coming on the air with breaking news about the economy and another brutal day on Wall Street. The market's tanking right now ahead of the closing bell, just seconds away from the sell-off we're watching here, the worst in years, driven by President Trump's announcement Wednesday. Let's show you how the markets have closed today at the bell. Looks like all three major indexes down about 6%.
When Trump took office, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was at 44,025.81. It closed today at 38,314.86. That's a drop of 5,710.95. In 3 months, Donald Trump has managed to lose the stock market 10% of the gains that it had before he took office. But what does all this mean? What does the numbers that I read to you, the subtracting this number from that number, what does all that mean? To be honest with you, I don't know. I had to look it up. Since Donald Trump took office, shares and wealth and value in the stock market, where your pension and your retirements and your 401ks and things like that, because the people that take your money and put it into a 401k, they are also investing it in the stock market. When soldiers get into their TSP program and they go into the 20, 30, 20, 40 plans or whatever, don't keep your money in the G fund and let it sit there. But when you put it in those plans, they're putting that stuff on the stock market. Donald Trump has lost everybody $9.6 trillion. And he's still within his first 100 days of office. When you put that in total value and volume, Donald Trump has bankrupted two countries, Japan and Germany, wiped out all their GDP growth. If you put it in that context, he has wiped out that much GDP value in 3 months, less than 3 months. I'm not an economist. I'm barely a historian, but I do pay attention and I do know a little bit about a little bit. If you go back and look at the stock market and you see places like Amazon, Apple, Nike, and Microsoft and a lot of other different tech companies and how their stocks went down considerably, the reason why that is because the jobs and the manufacturers are over there and they're going to have to pay a tariff to get that stuff here. So one or two things are going to happen. Either those companies are going to eat the cost, which I doubt, or they're going to pass those costs on to you. When they do that, you're not going to want to buy as much. So what does that do? What happens to the iPhone 23? The value is going to go up. Nobody's going to want to buy it. Amazon, when you go and buy stuff, pay attention to where it's coming from. If it's coming from China, it's going to cost you a penalty. The tariff just went up. So you're not going to want to buy on Amazon, especially if it's coming from overseas. Now, the conservatives are saying, well, that's the point. Stop manufacturing overseas and bring it to the States. Do you know how long it takes to build a factory in America? That's one of the reasons why those guys go overseas, because of all the red tape and regulations. Okay, Maga, let's cut the red tape and regulations. You still have to build the plant, then hire the workers, then give us the same quality. You can't do that in a year. You can't do that in 4. This should have been a slow progress. But no, Donald Trump ripped the damn Band-Aid off like he ripped his diaper off. Now look at what we got. And this is the first damn year. But again, MAGA, I'm still going to reserve judgment. I'm going to give his economy, because we're going to say Liberation Day. We're going to say Liberation Day, April 2nd. So let's see what happened towards the end of this month, and let's look at the jobs report, because the job report that came out for March was pretty good. It doubled the amount of jobs, but unemployment went up 0.1%. So even though we added 140,000 more jobs than expected, the unemployment rate ticked up from 4.1 to 4.2. So like I said, I'm going to give it time before I go and pull old videos and show you fools what fools you were. Let's go, Maga. What do you think?